What's up, guys? I'm Levi Jaeckel, and today I want to talk to you about something that I believe in more and more and more the more that I train. So what I want to talk about this morning, this nice, beautiful November Florida morning here in the prison yard. We call this the prison yard, by the way. But what I want to talk about this morning has to do with like a training methodology that I have. Now there's 100 different ways to train the body. The body is an incredible organism, and a lot of different training methods work. So for example, if you care about muscle size and low body fat, you might be a bodybuilder. On the flip side of that, if you care about max strength, muscular strength, you might be a power lifter. I kind of came up in this industry, like my career kind of came up in the athletic training or the performance training into the spectrum. So all of my training kind of has an athletic flavor to it. Training like an athlete might mean something different to you than it does to me. So let me tell you what training like an athlete means to me. So contrary to what you might think, training like an athlete to me is less about the actual exercises, the individual exercises, and it has more to do with the programming themes and patterns. When we're working with a competitive athlete, we have to deal with a lot of training priorities. So jumping back to the bodybuilder and the powerlifter example, a bodybuilder has very specific goals. They care about muscle size, they care about low body fat. Same thing with a powerlifter. All the powerlifter cares about is an increased bench, squat, and deadlift. When you have very specific goals like that, it helps you keep a narrow focus when you're designing your program. I have this phrase that I like to tell my athletes, and that is, we don't have the luxury to pick and choose our priorities. We need to be good at everything. Not only do we have to be strong and fast and explosive, but we also have to be well-conditioned. We also have to be mobile. And the mobility plays a big part in injury resistance. A competitive athlete does nothing for himself or for his team if he's injured. And that's really the trick. That's what makes training complicated, is that we have to address all of these different needs for our athlete. We can't skip one, right? Because if we skip one, they're gonna be compromised. But we also can't overcommit to one. So we're walking this very fine line of addressing everything, but not over-addressing something. And you can kind of connect the dots to what I'm saying. So I don't want to make somebody so strong that all of a sudden they can't move laterally. And I don't want to make somebody so well conditioned that all of a sudden they start losing power or explosiveness. Typically the way that we address these different needs is that we break them up into phases. So the duration of an off season is kind of broken up into 2 or 3 or maybe 4-week phases. Each phase addresses one of those priorities, and by the end of the off season, the athlete has kind of focused on everything. That's what prepares them for a long and healthy season. So bringing this all full circle, the point that I wanted to drive home is that when we create these programs for our athletes, it actually translates very well to our adult population. I don't think a lot of people talk about this, but this is something that I believe in 100%. Most of the adults that we work with are probably trying to lose a little bit of weight, they're trying to get back into shape, and most of them have injuries of some kind. When we apply those training principles and those training patterns to our adult clients in the same way that we address our athletes' training, we end up making very balanced and sustainable programs. If you're an adult that wants to train hard and you don't have a specific end date or a specific target date that you're getting ready for, I would challenge you to kind of think about programming for yourself in these different types of phases. Spend a little time working on your strength, then spend a little time working on your mobility, spend a little time working on your conditioning. And over the course of time, you're going to address all of these different areas and your body's going to be balanced. If you don't know where to start, or if you need some ideas on exercises, go through our exercise vault. We have hundreds of exercises on our YouTube channel. If you've got specific needs or an injury or a tight spot, go through there and find mobility exercises that'll help you feel better. So when I say train like an athlete, it's less about fancy Instagram-worthy exercises or complexes, and it has more to do with building a balanced body built for longevity and sustainability so that you can enjoy your life outside the gym exactly how you want to. I appreciate you watching this video. Please leave a comment down below. I always appreciate your feedback, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you guys.